Okay, so we just have to ask Charlie if we're live.
Live, are we live? I always think the first couple of minutes of this broadcast every month must be great while we're going, Charlie, are we live? Tell us.
Okay, it looks like we're doing something. Uh, it says. Okay. Ooh, the meeting is being live streamed.
Excellent.
Okay, let me just check that I don't have this set. Okay. It says live, so I'm just going to assume. And will you quickly message Charlie and just check that?
I can see you as well. Hi, everyone.
You are live. Thank you, Charlie. Mission Control has responded. Fabulous. Okay. Wow. Okay. Where are we? Happy Equinox. Sorry, we've just come out of a really deep conversation, and now we like started this, and I'm like, bloody hell, my mind's blown. Okay, shit. So we are so happy to be here. Like Equinox Portal. It's been a mad like month and a half since we've last seen you guys, since we went live for for Feb, and it's just been amazing. And I think Ceryn just shared something with me, which I kind of wanted to start out with. So yeah, Ceryn, like, speak, babe.
Okay, so absolutely. So hi, everyone. We were just talking about the energies right now, and I was just saying if I've had one client slash friend slash just general person in my life say to me in the last handful of days, something big has come to an end, or I have found myself right back in the place where I was 2-3 years ago, and I just feel like I haven't moved forward. I'm stuck. I'm clearly just stuck and I'm not going anywhere. If I had a pound for every person who'd said one of those two things to me in the last few days, I think I'd be pretty rich, because everybody seems to be in one of those places, either that are a massive ending or they're just back in an old cycle that they've been in before. And I think a lot of the sort of well-known astrologers out there are talking at the moment about how Pluto is about to make a transit into Aquarius. Now that's a big deal. You know, Pluto is not a planet that moves every week like Mercury does. Its transits are slower moving. What's really interesting about this one, something that I haven't heard a lot of other astrologers say, and I wish I could remember the name of the person that I heard say this, so I credit them for it, is that as part of this first little venture into Aquarius that Pluto is making, it's returning to the same point in the sky that at the end of 2020, Saturn and Jupiter came together for what we called back then the Great Conjunction. Now, you may not recall this because it was a long old time ago. The entire world seems to have changed since the end of 2020. But at that point, we had Saturn, the planet of boundaries, the planet of marking time, the planet of kind of the phases of our life, the planet of great big catastrophic change often. And Jupiter, which is that great big kind of blessing planet, is the planet that inflates everything, the planet that it's called the Great Benefic. We've got the Great Benefic and the Great Malefic is what they're called. And those two things came together in the sky in Aquarius, which in some ways they sort of, they're very much the oppositions of each other. And when they came together, I remember a lot of people saying, this is the start of the age of Aquarius. For years, we've been told that in the age of Aquarius, things will come to the fore spiritually. Things will shift, things will change. This is it. This great conjunction in Aquarius, this is it. Now, what I read earlier in the week is that next week, I believe it is, as Pluto moves into Aquarius and as it makes its first tentative little steps in Aquarius, it will come to the same point in the sky that happened. Now, Pluto, which I'm going to call a planet, because justice for Pluto, so I'm going to call it a planet. Pluto is the planet that we associate with change. It is the planet that we associate with death, and it is the planet that we associate with rebirth. And it is also the planet that we associate with reflection. It is the planet that asks us to stop, look at where we are, look at where we've been, and go, that bit I don't want anymore. I'm weeding it out. This is what I'm moving forward with. This is what I'm allowing to die, and this is what I am rebirthing. Now, I read something earlier this week that suggested that because Pluto is now coming to that same point in time where the Great Conjunction happened, it is asking us to revisit everything that has happened for us personally and collectively since the end of 2020. It is also marking this age of Aquarius. This is when it kickstarts, baby. This is when we go, right, what are you carrying into the age of Aquarius and what are you leaving behind? What are you letting die within you and what are you bringing to the fore? And so it's going to feel big. It does feel big. And I don't know about anybody else, but right now, my head feels like it's going to explode and I'm exhausted. I just said to Yolandi, I'm recording this the day before. You may remember, because I think I've spoken about it, that back at the end of last year, I lost my dog, Callie, who was my best friend. She was my baby. She was my familiar. She was my soulmate. She was all of the things. Very suddenly, I lost her. Now, tomorrow, I go and pick up a brand new puppy, which is really exciting. And I'm really excited about it. And also, it's really scary. It's a really big thing, picking up a new puppy. For anybody who's done it before, they'll know what I mean. And it feels like a huge, big shift. It feels like me putting a marker on the last 5 months of my life, which have been a deep dive into the underworld, a deep dive with all those Plutonian energies. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm choosing now what I move forward with and what I don't. Even down to the fact of how I'm going to train a dog and how I'm not, because I learned some really big lessons on that last time. That's my lesson with this. But for all of us, we have different lessons. I have friends at the moment who are going through relationship breakdowns and who are being asked to consider, what have I learned over the last 3 years? Because let's be honest, at the end of 2020, anybody who was in a relationship, there was a lot of lessons that we learned about those relationships during 2020 when all of a sudden they became a pressure cooker. What have I learned in the time since then? What do I want to carry forward? What do I want to leave behind? Who am I now? And what about that relationship or a future relationship is right for me and what isn't? I have I was speaking to a friend earlier who has had health problems for the whole of that time. And now she's coming to a point where they are flaring back up temporarily, not long term. But the question to her is, okay, so where am I going next with this? What part of this, what is it teaching me? What am I going to move forward with? What am I going to say, right? This is me. This is who I am now. And this is what I've learned about everything that I am and everything that I'm doing and that I'm being in the world. And also, what bits am I just going to go, no, you get to stay in the past because I'm done with you. Yeah. We are moving into a new age. And I feel like we have been saying this for as long as we've been doing these broadcasts. But now I'm doing this because it's important. We are moving into a new age. And this is the kick-ass moment where you get to decide, what are you taking with you into that new age and what are you leaving behind? Yeah. If you're sitting there listening to this thinking, well, she just shut up and start spirit channeling, I understand. But also, if you're sitting there listening to this and thinking, I feel like I'm just stuck. I feel like I'm not moving forward. I feel like I'm in the same place I was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I hear you. And I also want to tell you that that's complete and utter bollocks. Because actually, the you who is in this position now is coming at that from a totally different perspective. While there might be a lot of resonances of what you've felt and what you've heard, there is also so much that you have gained along the way. There is so much that you are now bringing to the fore. I just said to Yolandi before, I feel like for me, since the start of January, there have been so many patterns that have recurred that have, were things that were part of the hardest time of my life. And I've seen them come back again. The difference this time is perhaps that I'm giving myself a little bit more grace because I've been through them before, but also that now I'm coming at them from a place of almost having let them break me down to the very core of who I am before. So now I come at it from the core. I'm not walking into a conversation with somebody thinking, oh, well, I've got to try and please everybody out there. I'm not walking into a conversation thinking this is who I should be because this is who the world wants me to be. I'm walking in and going, this is who I am. This is the actual nuts and bolts of who I am. Nothing else matters. And so my invitation to you as we move through tonight's experience, as we move into this new age, as we move through whatever the hell Pluto and Aquarius has in store for us, my invitation to you is that who are you at the very roots of yourself? Who do you know yourself to be? Because if you can move into this, if you can move through this from that place, never mind all the other bullshit, from that place, that's when you can have that grace. That's when you can have that wisdom. That's when you can move through this from a place of, I'm not going to say ease, because let's be honest, there's still going to be some tough times, but you can move through this from a place of confidence in yourself.
Dude, that was beautiful. And I think so much of this is also about like no more shaming, no more going, oh my God, I've done something wrong. That's why all this shit's like showing up again. This is why I keep the same patterns keep showing up. The same things keep happening. Stop shaming yourself. This is such a such a bullshit new age concept that it's your fault, and like we have to just leave that outside tonight, because this is, as Ceryn said, this is about you coming to all of this stuff from a completely different place, because you are different to what you were when you experienced the shit the very first time. And that, like, giving ourselves also permission to celebrate like what we have done over the last 3 years, like how far we've come. Like I was working with Sekhmet this week, like I did some channelings for some stuff that's coming out this week, and it was like she kept reminding me, she kept saying, like, remember how far you've come, remember what you have done in the last 3 years. So tonight's also like a celebration.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because this morning, before we had this conversation, Yolandi and I were talking about what tonight was going to be. And we were like, oh, we don't know. We're just going to come at it with an open, joyful heart and see what we get to. And actually, that's what it brings us back to. Because if you can look at how far you've come, look at who you are and what you've achieved in all of the ways, you can bring that celebration in. If you can come back to the place of remembering who you are at your core and knowing that actually nothing else really matters. That's what is important.
Yeah.
To do it with that open-hearted joy, because you're not trying to pretend to be anything. You're not trying to do anything else. You're just being you.
Yeah.
Let's move into tonight and that equinox in this powerful portal that is the balance of light and dark, from a place of that joyful, open-hearted celebration.
And it's interesting today, I was looking, and I don't know why I want to say this, but I was like listening to that song that I sent you this morning. And like the lady on the song, like she was known for being this, like living her life in a space of joy. And I looked at the photos of her, and you know, when I think of someone who's joyful, I'm like, they must be like all out there and stuff. But she had these contemplative moments on these photos, and I'm like, look at the depth of her, look at what her joy is. And like, I think our concept of joy and like fulfillment and peace within ourselves have been fucked up by Hollywood, basically, in my opinion. And so, like, you know, if your joy is like a piece that like goes through your entire being, like I said to Karen this morning, like I was sitting there, I was like crying, and but I'm so happy, but I'm like crying. But it's just like my whole being like felt full, and like just there were no holes in me. And that's fucking joy, right? Like it's amazing.
It is, it's beautiful. And it's from that place, when there are no holes in you, not only do the moments feel better because you're in that state of joy, you're in that state of flow, but also the bigger picture becomes a bit easier to contend with, because you don't have holes. You're not letting go of energy here, there, and everywhere, and draining yourself before you even get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
You're aligned with who you are. You're aligned with what you are. You know, we've had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about what it is when we step out of alignment with who and what we are. Because I should probably stop talking about this, because this is going to be our next podcast episode. Spoilers. But when we step out of that place of who and what we truly are, and we 9 times out of 10, we do that because we're trying to be something that we think we should be. As the world, whether intentionally or not, whether consciously or not, has shamed us into a place of believing we should be something that we aren't. And when we do that, when we step into that place of trying to be something that we aren't, we're giving away our energy in every moment. And we're not just actively giving it away, we're also allowing it to drain, because the only person who is able to be here and be you in this moment is you. The only person who is able to bring your unique flavor of whatever it is that you're here to do, whatever it is that you're here to be. And I don't just mean that in work, by the way. I mean that in the way that you smile at the person who gives you your coffee in the morning, the way that you look after your children, the way that you read a bedtime story to those children, the way that you kiss your partner goodnight, the way that you, all of the things, the way that you plant flowers in your garden, the energy that you give out to the world with every smile. The only person who can do that in your unique way is you. And we keep saying, one of the messages that has come through time and time again in the channelings that what we've done, that I've done in these Project Earthwork sessions, is there is a reason that you have incarnated right now, right here, as who you are. And that incarnation is not just because your face looked quite pretty alongside everybody else on earth, although I'm sure it does, let me say. It's because your energy is part of the unique blend of energy that is needed on earth at this time. And that energy can't be its unique, incredible self. It can't be part of that blend in that perfect way if you're busy trying to be everybody else. If you're being shamed into being something that you're not, if you're being shamed into thinking that you should have done more, or you should have been something different, or you shouldn't be here again. That energy can only be what it is when you are being genuine to yourself.
Okay. So where are we gonna, this feels like just like, yeah. Dude, that's so beautiful.
Not what we intended to go tonight. Sorry, everyone.
That was divine, and I'm so grateful. So thank you for sharing that. And I think it also put some light on like what the fuck's happening and why you're all feeling like you're feeling and why we're all feeling like we're feeling, right? So yeah, fuck. So I think shall we dive and see where we're gonna go? I have literally like no idea where we're going. So I'm super excited to see what the hell's gonna happen. So I'm gonna let you go and do your thing, Babs.
Cool. Thank you. So let's do it. Let's open up the circle. And as always, I will open up the circle for us, and then I will open up and see who wants to come through and speak with us. And then it'll be over to Yolandi, who will work all of her wonderful magic and take us on from there. So wherever you are, I invite you, as long as it's safe to do that, to get nice and comfy. If you'd like to close your eyes, feel free to do so. I will be. For this first part, it's probably for the best, only if it's safe. And just start by taking a couple of big, deep breaths in. And as you breathe, I invite you to anchor yourself into your body. And not only that, but anchor yourself into who you are. You know, even if, as we were just talking there, you're listening to that and going, but I don't know who the core of me is. I don't know what the crux of my essence here is. That's okay. You don't need to. Let yourself breathe into it with the intention that that's what you're breathing into, your essence, your core, your center, all that you are. And just know that that's exactly what you're being anchored into with each breath. And with every out breath, just allow yourself to release, to let go of anything and everything that is pulling you away from that, of anything and everything that just doesn't need to be in this space. Breathe into that fullness of yourself. And then breathe out that shame that we spoke about just then. Breathe out that worry, that uncertainty. Breathe into a sense of trust in you. You don't need to trust in anything else in the world if you trust in yourself. And then just release anything and everything that is holding you back from being present in this moment. Knowing that as we move into this space and this time, for the next little while, it's absolutely okay to just be present here. And so as you breathe, as you continue to come all the way into this moment, I'm going to start by calling in a circle around us. And as always, call this in across space and time, so that wherever you are listening to this and whenever you are listening to this, you are to be enfolded in this sacred circle, held, supported, and surrounded by everyone else who is in this circle and by the energies that we're calling in. So we start by calling out to the east and to air, to inspiration, to wisdom, to intuition. We're calling out to those gentle breezes and those great big gales, calling out to the clouds and to the birds, to the butterflies that are representative of that change that we all go through. We're calling out to the power of our breath, its ability to anchor us into the moment in every single moment. If ever we're uncertain, all we need to do is breathe, and it brings us right back in. And anytime we're worried about where to go next, the next right move is always a breath, because it's our breath that is the bridge to what comes next. It is our breath that is the bridge forward and ahead. To the east and to the air, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And then I turn to the south. I call to the south and to fire, to passion, to action, to creativity, to sensuality, to warmth, and to illumination. I call out to the dragons, I call to the volcanoes, I call to those tiny candle flames that illuminate our way in the dark, and those great big bonfires that are our communal space, that are our space for sharing and for protection. I call to the sun, to that vibrant, radiant light that is the life force of us and of everything on this planet and beyond. To the south and to fire, I invite them to join with us, to work with us and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And then turn to the west, I call to the west and to water, to the whales and to the dolphins, to the depths and to the shallows. I call to the cleansing and the nourishment of the rains. I call to the release and the emotion of tears. I call to the ebb and the flow of the tides. And in so doing, I invite the west and the water to bless us with all that it holds, all that it knows, and all that it has to share with us. To the west and the water, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work that we do together. Welcome. And finally, I turn to the north, and I call them the north and to earth, to the trees and the plants, to the animals, to the mountains, to the rocks, and to the caves. I call out to groundedness, to surety, to steadfastness, to fertility, to nourishment, and to abundance. To the north and to the earth, I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work we do together. Welcome. And as I draw that circle around us all, across time and space, by east, by south, by west, by north, and back to east, I call in a circle of protection, asking that only those who come from the highest of intentions may step forward and work with us this evening. I call in a circle of alignment with each of our own greatest purposes and the highest energies, and alignment with the greatest purpose and the highest energy of this planet of ours, of this universe of ours, of this reality of ours. I call in a circle of alchemy and of transformation, that we may, through this process, shift and move into exactly the alignment of whatever it is that we are meant to be, and that will bring us that greatest joy, that greatest celebration, that greatest power, and that greatest wisdom. And in so doing, I call in our guides and our helpers, our teachers and our inspirers, our ancestors of blood, of stars, of soul, and of heart. I call in our own souls, every facet of their beings through all directions of time and space, and I invite them now to join with us, to work with us, to be within this circle space with us, to the center, to soul, to space, to spirit, and to ether. I invite them to join with us, to work with us, and to bless this time, this space, and this work that we do together. Welcome. So within this circle, within this space, I invite you to begin to feel yourself connecting in. Start to feel that door opening up in the back of your neck, and those roots of gold and white light moving out and down, all the way down through your back, and down to the chair or the bed that you're resting on, down through the floor of the room that you're in, through the building that you're in, right the way down into the earth. And notice how as these roots of yours grow down into the earth, they are so bright that you can see them. You can see the way they move through all those layers of soil, of rock, and of earth that are the history of this planet, that are so much of this planet that our species hasn't even begun to remember. Feel the way they move through the caves and the caverns of the inner earth. See those gold and white roots of yours moving down through the rivers, the streams, and the seas that underlie this planet of ours, moving down through those earth grids in all of their shapes and forms, those great energies that are the lines and the energetic spheres that represent the great energetic grids and makeup of this planet. See those roots as they move down through that ring of fire, of magma that surrounds the heart of our planet, and down into the great crystal core of Gaia. And at the center of that crystal core is a great tree that is made of that same gold and white light. See the way as all of our roots come to that tree, it just stretches out its roots to enfold us, to hold us, to intertwine with us, and to remind us all that in every moment we are held. That we are all, each and every one of us, held, no matter who we are, no matter what life looks like or feels like in every moment of this life, we are held by this glorious planet and by this glorious energy that is the energy of Gaia. And feel that energy of Gaia begin to move back up through your roots, up through the fire, up through the waters and the seas, up through the caves and the caverns, up through all those layers of earth. Feel it moving back up through your roots as they move through the building that you're in. And as they do, feel it, the way that that energy of yours just shines. It glows, effervescent with this beautiful Gaia energy, this beautiful energy that is our planet, that is everything that we came here to be and to experience. Feel that energy as it moves up through the base of your spine and begins to move up bit by each and every vertebrae, until when it reaches that causal chakra at the back of your neck, it just floods out to every single part of your being. A great big wave that just says to you, you are safe, you are held, you are supported. I've got you. And let yourself breathe into that. Let yourself sigh into the release that comes when you know that you are held, when you know that you are safe. And as you do, feel that second beam of light stretch up and out of your solar plexus, a beam of pure gold that moves up through your chest, through your shoulders and your neck, up through your head, right the way up and out the top of your head, moving out through the sky, out through all those gases that protect and that hold our planet out into the stars, moving through the stars and the planets, through the galaxies and the universes, right the way up to the very, very edge of space, and then breaking out into a place that is pure light, that is that same pure gold that is the center of everything, the great central sun that is source. And as that beam of your light plugs in here, just allow yourself to feel that source energy running back down through the space, down through the sky, down through the building that you're in, right the way back into the crown of your head. But notice as it does that this source energy that moves into your crown, into your energetic body and your physical being, isn't just the energy of source. It is your unique imprint. It is the energy of your soul. It is your wisdom, your power, your beauty, your divinity. And if any part of you doubts that, just feel it as it flows down through your third eye, down through your head and through your throat and your causal chakra, down through your shoulders, right the way down into your heart. Feel that energy that is your own divinity as it moves down, all the way down into your solar plexus. And as it continues to move down into your sacral center, into your root, all the way down into the place where you meet the earth, feel the way that it illuminates every cell of your being with what feels like a fire, a radiance. Feel the way that that radiance just explodes outwards, filling every bit of you with what feels like it's being ignited into a remembrance of all that you are, into a remembrance of everything that you came here to be. And as we sit in that place, rooted into Gaia, plugged into source, and held, always held by this great cosmic womb, I ask by divine decree that this may be a perfect evening, a perfect celebration of this equinox time and of each and every one of us. I ask that everything that is meant to be said, heard, felt, sensed, witnessed, and experienced within this time may unfold with perfect ease and perfect clarity. That everything may be done in the highest good of every person represented here and of the earth more broadly. For that is our great mission together, is to support the renewal of the earth, the healing of the earth, the next step onwards of the earth and of each of us alongside her. By divine decree in the name of Gaia, Source, and Cosmos, so it is. And so I invite you to take another couple of deep breaths, just letting yourself come back into the moment where you are with all of that energy still moving through you. If you'd like to open your eyes for this next part, feel free. If you'd like to keep them closed, that's okay too. But right now, I'm just going to step aside and I'm going to invite whoever wants to step forward and speak with us to do exactly that. The energies on this planet at this time roam strong. You are each and every soul within this world, surrounded by a swirl, a vortex of the great energy of the universes, of the great energy that is potential. Were you to look around yourself with eyes that perceive pure energy at this time, you would see it. A golden mist of possibility, a golden mist of energy that surrounds and enfolds you and spirals around you. See it as it flows around, calling in all that has been, calling in all that will be into your energy field. This is a challenging experience to undertake, not only because it requires you to open into your energy field and witness so much of what has been seen, what has been heard by yourself through all iterations of your own being on this earth and others. It is easy to feel the overwhelm of that energy. It is easy to feel the overwhelm of that awareness. In any moment, as you find yourself being swept away by this vortex, I encourage you to simply place your hands upon the earth. Place your hands upon the earth and anchor yourself into the now, into the here, into the what is. It is only within this space of what is that we can make manifest the what will be. It is only within this space of what is that we can understand the what has been. The before and the after are important, but they are not the now. We could, of course, step into the many realities that are unfolding, but at this time and within this vortex of sacred balance, I ask that we do not venture down that path. That is one for us to cover at another time. At this moment, I ask instead that you consider what is, what exists within you and within your awareness. I ask that you come into the central column of your being, that you explore that central column and ask, where is the authority point within? For it is from that authority point that you will come to find the truth of what is. Breathe into each and every point along this central column to understand which is the one that feels the great sense of flow, which is the one that knows the correct next step. Breathe into there, trust there, journey with there. You will, each of you, carry within those authority points a sense of pain, a sense of uncertainty, for you have been told for many a year, for many an age, to look outside of yourself for the authority to know, to look outside of yourself for the authority to understand. That time is done. That age is over. It is of the returning into the self, into the own authority, that you will find peace, that you will find progress, that you will find what lies in wait for you. And know that what lies in wait for you is a joyous experience. There are those who would tell you that this path should in every moment be joyous. It is not the case. That is not the path of the human. That is not the path of the soul. There must be light to experience the dark. And now at this equinox period, we recognize that. We see the ways in which the light and the dark coexist, reflect one another, hold one another, allow one another, and truly honor one another. There is, it is certain to be said, experience of darkness that lies in the future, collectively and individually also. But that is not to be feared. It is to be respected. It is to be worked with. It is to be honored, and it is to be understood. In some cases, it is even in its way to be celebrated for all that it is and all that it represents. Yet there is also great joy, great brightness. There is also the possibility for so many of the dreams that fuel your heart, your soul, and your very being to be made manifest in this next phase of the earth's creation, in this next phase of your own becoming. But in order to step into that joy, in order to step into that beauty, you must first recognize the possibility. You must first open to the possibility of the now. You must first be comfortable to sit in the now and to feel it unfold within you, to recognize the wisdom and the guidance that unfolds within. For it is that torch which will lead you forward. It is that torch which will be your constant companion in the moments of darkness. And it is that torch which will light the fires of celebration in the moments of joy. Come home to the authority within you. Come home to your wisdom. Come home to the beauty that is your own self. For the more that each soul represented upon earth can come home to their own beauty, to their own knowledge, to their own inspiration, the more that the outside world, in all of its trappings, in all of its failings, in all of its lunacy, will fall away. And instead, what will be left behind is what this earth truly is, what humanity truly is, what all that we're meant to call this planet home truly are. A place of nourishment, a place of experiential learning, a place of great knowledge, and a place of great insight. Each time you take a step further toward your own wisdom, further toward your own authority, you illuminate yet another fire on Earth's path back to its truth, back to its authority, back to its possibility, which is beauty, joy, nourishment, creation, which is the great circle that is nature, that is life, that is all that we experience. Never lose your way or your place within that great cycle. Never forget that the wheel upon the earth is constantly turning, that your job is not to stop that wheel, but to embrace every moment of it, to immerse yourself in its journey through the highs and the lows, through the light and the dark. Allow yourself to be immersed. Allow yourself to trust in that cycle, and in all of the guidance that is yours to receive and to own. And know as you do that nothing, but nothing about your life to this date has been a mistake. That every choice you have made has led you to this place, to this point, to this moment. And that it is this moment and this moment alone that can create the future for you, that can take the myriad of possibilities that swirl around your being at this time and transform them into reality, alchemize them into change, build them into the new. And in doing so, allow possibilities to take shape. You are blessed by the very nature of being here upon this earth. You are blessed of heart, in the way that that heart mourns, just as in the way that it loves. You are blessed of body, in the way that body aches, just as in the way it dances. You are blessed of brain, in the way that that mind of yours can sometimes feel overawed, just as in the way that it can feel inspired. And you are blessed of soul, great one, by being here upon this earth, in a place where your soul can be embodied, in the place where your soul can experience so much, can undertake so much, yet never be tarnished from its original, perfect, united, and sacred self. Take this forward with you. Take it forward with the energy that lives within your very being. Allow the wings of the dragon to spread wide behind you, to pick you up and to soar with you through and in every moment, to embrace what it is to be here, to be you, to be now. I move along and I cede my place. But first, I wish to give you my love, to give you my gratitude, and to give you great blessings for this time. Thank you.
Okay, just gonna ask that you take a deep breath in. Karen, thank you so much for that. Wasiake. Okay, so we're just feeling ourselves in our bodies right now, feeling yourself fully connected with this 3D body, this human body. Mahiokarase Dale kuruku sekia mandre koloro sekia ratai vala hiambahe koro. Mbareko sokunda kiokuru tolo chatrama akara soku ukunda e. Mbaera sekura sendale tahiora te varasikuta hi. Mahiro sekiandala sia vasekuru sandikiliama ero sokoto hiaten. Daiyokoro sakela sa ia sekuroto sakanda kero ma ila pateku taia kendra isutaia lava se to yuroko sakia kora sayase tahiaten. So we'll start our journey together today. And as I'm just looking here, I can see us walking towards our beautiful sacred forest. And just see yourself following me now through this forest, placing your feet on the ground, on this pathway that runs through these ancient trees. And as we walk deeper and deeper and deeper into the forest on this dark night, and we go deeper into the forest, and as we walk, we see the beautiful stone circle, the stars lighting up the sky for us. And as we walk towards the circle now, allow yourself to step into this beautiful stone circle, this ancient stone circle, this portal circle, and walk yourself right into the center of this circle. And as you sit yourself down onto the ground, raising your head to the stars, feeling yourself firmly sat on this earth, we start to call in the energies of Gaia to cradle our bodies, to connect our bodies onto this land. As we call in those holding arms of hers, to grab us firmly onto this earth plane, onto this soil, so that we can journey outwards to where we need to, but helped by the Great Mother. Atenda yoko, and as I call in Daioro toko sandalehi marakia ke sutorohia ke tandahi, the light of the divine source, Mahiro Shiandarakia ke lishokurata, the water full of energy, Materakusekia ke rasiate, that is running through the sun right now, Roteakia ke, making these huge flares come to us, Motorotahia ke, and we're going to direct that energy down through the center of your body right now. Matrakusakia ramaselo shiakera setahiengarakia setoratatana. Helishia parase kurotahia kera tahinda se. That healing energy of our sun, borosakia ke, that energy that comes straight from source, rasutahia kerata, from the great sun, matalahikurusakia ke kindikia ke, and that is reaching us now, matrahulakia karasutahia ke, that is reaching us quick, mahiokurakikisikia lata, because it is in our solar system, but know that that energy is fueled here by an ancient fuel, and as this it's being they're showing me released from the depth of the sun, and coming to us now. So as we allow this light to come through our bodies, into the earth, so through that beautiful central column of your body, and we allow this light to just be inside us, and as we allow this light to grow, we start by activating the cells, right at the center. We are sending this right back into the cells of our bodies, to bring us back into back into cellular alignment. So as we allow these cells to start lighting up with this new energy, and what they're showing me, they're speaking about the emotions, the what you call the low vibrational emotions, so they're saying the emotions of shame, of guilt, all of that. Allow that to come up for you, to the surface tonight. any feelings that you have been holding, storing in your cells, storing in your ancient cells, and your cells from this lifetime. So the things that you know and the things that you have forgotten, they are sending this beautiful this ray of healing into our bodies now, into our deep cellular remembering, and the emotional aspects, those feelings that we have been holding on to, and as this is starting to literally vibrate out of our system, just allow yourself to just receive this energy into yourselves. Matria taia kavaretindo to alia patrakia sataindo shake Aleshora sikiana sema herosiande rasia setale tarayo taraiki ayamase kurataya kelashia traia sendakia keke sekurukia keken. And I want you to look at your body right now. Mase kurataya setai silitia teretatainda isiate, seeing your cells vibrating yambase as you're sitting here atengiate, and you're literally vibrating metrokia kelaseatata with the frequency of the Motraiake, the universal sons, Ayoko Traiande Sakiake, Andale Erama Sekorosia Sekiara Tatanda, Elemate Kuriate Kiaseta, Hevete Randa, Eporotokutla Emuteki, Ae Kera Sendoia Kerase, Aletio Trai Etrania Kurama Ekiama Sekiate. And the guides are being very clear with me, Mate Kurasiate. Are they saying, you don't just have to be here in this space, with them here, Materosiki. You can do this every single day. Oyatara, part of our remembering is to vibrate with the frequency of the universal light, Motorohia Kendakiase. So if you allow yourselves to go into that space of it's like daily regeneration, because the minute that we start this vibration, everything that we've accumulated, that is not matching the vibration of that light, can be shifted and can be worked with. And we have spoken to you about your bodies changing. We have spoken to you about how you are busy upgrading yourself to receive these light that is flowing in. So allow yourself now to fully feel what this feels like, and to know that this is within your reach. Amata erota isiate. And just allow yourself to release maikorata taisunda ayatanga na ikorotoko taita hamase korataia se. So whatever needs to come out right now, ameelotaki haratais, just let it come, ma ikorokoka esitia treta alateretiando taia keraseande asindelehiake. So they're also explaining to me that the reason why materosia setahiake, we are literally going through the process of cleansing the system and getting the vibration doia keresendakioko equal materusikiake, is because patorotakiandeta, the point of authority, that she spoke of earlier, if your system isn't clear, you will doubt the voice of the point of authority within yourself. You will not be able to hear it clear, and you cannot steer yourself into the places where you need to go. So as we sit here now and we are quiet and we are together in this sacred space, filled with this sacred energy, I'm asking you to tune into that point of authority within yourself. And so wherever it is, just run down, up and down this line within your body And just feel, it might be that it's sat in your heart, it might be in your belly, it might be in your throat. And mine's definitely in my throat, my hikaresi. I could feel that clearing out, my isoro iakenda. So I want you to focus on that point of authority. It might be your third eye, it might be your crown, whatever it is for you. There's no right and wrong here. But I want you to focus on that point of authority within yourself right now. And as we are taking this light now to illuminate that point of authority, to activate that point of authority within yourself again, mitoki masinda hilapa, aresukia tranda hiokerasiate latai okonda maerasiate, so that your energy maekorosiate out in the world, mate this reflection of you out in the world, maerosiake will be strengthened by the authority. So whatever point you have focused on tonight, allow this light to strengthen within you. So when you move out of here today, and you start embracing all of this, all of you, you can remember the connection with your point of authority, your truth, who you are, all of who you are, and you can start to work with trusting this point of authority, trusting whatever it is within you, and allowing that to guide you into the future. And do not be sad, do not be sad, for having forgotten how to listen, forgotten how to trust, because you are all now going through the process of relearning trust. It has been removed from your innate knowing. You have been conditioned in such a way that it was taken away from you, and that was always the plan, but we are asking you to come back to it. We are asking you to embrace it. We are asking you to nurture this point of authority, because by loving this point, by nurturing, by putting in all of your energy, all of your healing capacity, whatever you have, that strength that you have within yourself into this point of authority, that is how the world changes. That is how your world changes for you. And by taking this authority out into the world, this beautiful open energy that you will take out into the world, the shifts that will happen around you, will be so obvious. Mahindulasi kurasia senda hia kerasiate. Halecha tarasengurusia seta imbuia ke hamila te kurasi te atatahingiate. So grant yourself this, maela shiokorata, grant yourself this ability to step back in the process of trusting yourself, and to literally build this muscle up again, maikurata, to return to the strength within yourself, meo kalekia kerasiate endoia. Because the only one who is going to save you, is you. So now as you sit in this energy, we're going to work with the Zotaiki, the vortex, that she mentioned while she was speaking. So allow this vortex to become more tangible to your ability to see, your intuition. So as you sit here, just allow this vortex to become stronger and stronger and stronger, more tangible, more tangible, more tangible. Mendo ikirikia kenda iakera sekiate. And I want you to take a moment and just place your hands inside the vortex, ma ikurata, this vortex of possibility. And dekirekia keta iundarakia ke. Allow yourself to touch. And just take a moment to tune into what is waiting for you. I say, whatever this feeling is, whatever this vision might be, whatever you're feeling, just allow that to come in. Setana ipurotoko. Lote ki tainda. Aresa ia kanda ke kuraki la tatainda. Matakariki saleto dia terenahi ki ava. Okay, and take your hands out mae kuratahi ki ande and bring it back. Matelosia. We're going to just slow that vortex down. Dandekora, 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 asekiate. And so whatever you felt, mainda lekora hiake, know that there's just so much more of that out there. Maikora kinda kiake, and we slow it right down, slow it right down. Do iakinda sekiate. Okay, beautiful. So now I want you to place your hand, on your point of authority, and as we take a moment, we bring that energy of the possibility, onto this point. And we marry these two back together. Handeto ratiki ala mai troia vate na e rasioko. Hale latia te ratahi taundahi. Hane tahi ate o rate ke sendahi alata e ramase. Osai ke traindo ia ke vanda ke rosata. Asanda le moto lotoi atera sekuta inda ke kusendahi ale. Right, so now we give our thanks to the energies of the beautiful sun. We give our thanks to the energies of source. We give our thanks to the energy of the earth. And we give our thanks to Orateake, our bodies, Maingia Setahi, our physical bodies, Mahikereki, our souls, Mahetahindas, Oyake, and also to all of the possibilities that surrounds us, the magical possibilities. So much gratitude, Mataki, and may you continue to keep reaching out to that Osakinda, that beautiful vortex, apate kiara tatanda ki, and bringing it into your awareness, otoya karatata, and carrying that energy out into the world, maendo hiakera se, asendali okorata, and blessing the earth, mahi okora se, and those that walk upon the earth with these energies, mahila siokorata ki ande sait, hatanda hiokorata hi lishiokosa. Asanda emate rosiki. Okay, masela siaketa. And just this gratitude, mahela siokota ratanda within us, ayotanda for Mother Gaia, maila tekiate sekiande, for allowing us another equinox on this planet, mitate rosaiake, for allowing us another day to breathe this air, mahikura sendahiake, alishiata. So much gratitude for her, Mate Kurasa. And as we pour the love from our hearts into her lines now, into her beautiful energy lines, and we give all of our gratitude and our joy and compassion and love out, Mo Karase, to share with her, Mate Kialata Hisiti Andeta, and to infuse her Maetro Yaketa Siandoda Maleku Rasiate. Avisa kinda kero satenda ila mate. Yase. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Moyake. Right, so I'm going to ask you to see yourself now making your way out of the circle. Mahingiase, just my gratitude to the sacred space as well. And as we make our way through the beautiful forest again, as you're walking through this forest in the starlight tonight, I want you to see how you're walking yourself back into your body, back into the room. Feel how all of your energy is returning into your body, your consciousness, your awareness, everything is coming back into 3D right now. So as you're walking and you're stepping on the ground, you can feel yourself returning to your physical body. You can feel yourself becoming more aware of the space around you, your connection, your Oreseki, where you're seated right now, Matelesia Kerasin. And we walk ourselves right back to where we started from, planting our feet firmly on the ground. We ask Mother Gaia to just make sure that we are super connected to her, that we are grounded back into her, asking her to pull us right back into this 3D reality. And so as I close the circle, Masendohi Alepotra Isekunda Kiala Tarahin. Amiatrola Sekurasita Ivelatenda Imoshekurusiake Asendahiake. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Satayoko. So just take a few deep breaths in now. Start moving yourself around, coming back into your body, back into the room. And just take a few deep breaths. Slowly, slowly coming back. Okay, and when you're ready, just opening up your eyes. Okay.
Thank you, Yolandi. That was incredible.
Thank you. That was so cool. Okay. Right. We will be back in April. I reckon we might take advantage of the beautiful solar eclipse energies, perhaps.
Be letting you know what is unfolding, as you might have seen from our website, as you might have seen from our Instagram and from our Facebook. Project Earthwork is having a little bit of a rebirth, I guess. We're shifting, we're changing, we're giving great gratitude to everybody who has brought us to this point, and honoring all of the different chapters of this journey so far. And we're also stepping into our own next chapter, and so we'll talk a little bit more about that perhaps next time we see you and over the coming days and weeks and months. But right now, we will be back in April, and yeah, we will share more with you about that as it comes. But thank you all so much for being here and for being you.
Yes, and thank you for just like supporting this, and like and subscribe and all the good stuff. Tell people about it, share this, and and just thank you for supporting the earth, and just for being such awesome people that give a shit so much. Really appreciate every single one of you. So thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll be back.
That's you.